Welcome back to my channel, Sober After 5. We're on a walk. So I want to talk about today how to not allow yourself to feel like you're getting ran over, or you're getting the short end of the stick, or you feeling like you want to lash out, or you want to set this person straight, or things ain't happening the way that person is saying they happening, and you want to act out of kind of like frustration or anger. But once you get into AA and you start practicing and you start working, and in AA, you're definitely going to get closer to God. And for me personally, it's like God talks directly to me. Even when I'm trying to talk to myself, or even when I'm trying to just talk to my husband, or even when I'm trying to talk to my kids, it's like God get right in the middle of the conversation and be like, no. And some things I be wanting to say out loud with my mouth, and I just want to say it. And God be like, no. And I have to really in my head start singing a different song, or like I really in my head be like, because that's not what God asked for me to make this person see. That's not what God asked for me, to set this person straight. And it kind of started feeling like, people walking over you, or people trying your patience, or people trying your intelligence, and you just want to let them know, wait a minute now. I'm saved, and God working on me, and I'm sober, but I have a clearer mind. So even the things that you felt like you can play with me before, I see them coming. And God is asking of me, now that I can see it coming, to have a different reaction. Now that I can see it coming, set myself up, use my tools. Just because you're an asshole don't mean I have to be one. Just because you're, handling things out of fear, frustration, and out of a mind that's not of God, or God hasn't touched your heart in the way that He has, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you ain't no pussy. You ain't soft. People ain't running over you. You gotta change how you think about it in your head. How you think about those people and what they're trying to do. People are sometimes just garbage cans. That's just plain and simple. They're garbage cans, and they're looking for somewhere to dump it off. And if you allow them to dump it off, they feel good. And you feel bad. All right, I'm going down the hill. So, this the hill that kicks my butt. And I got to hold the baby. Because it pulled me down. So just as hard as it is going down, it is coming up. Woo! That's a word in itself. Just as hard as it is going down, it could be just as hard coming up. But both of them are gratifying, and both of them are helping, these legs of mine going up and going down. But anyway, like I said, man, feel good in the power of knowing that you could have said something to really took them out of here. But for what? That doesn't make you feel good at the end of the day, because you're different. You're different than that. You're one of a kind. Everybody doesn't get to experience, the joy of coming out of alcohol. So you have a different love for life, especially when you're coming out of alcohol the way that I'm coming out of alcohol, that you was at the point of death. You have a different life. Things are different for you. Things that may have triggered you then don't trigger you now, right? So you feeling like, darn, I'm doing good. Those things don't trigger me, but it's always going to be something that will trigger you, right? But using your tools and knowing it's coming, and even when it doesn't come, if you use your tools so much, they just automatically are there. It's sometimes that I get ready to cuss and fuss, and God just asks me to shut up. Girl, just be quiet. This not a two-man job. It's not a two-man job. Just be quiet. Just be still. Let me handle it. Because your little words or your little snappy comeback or your little, they ain't gonna play with me, you not letting God handle the situation. Now who gonna win? You or God? Let him work. That's what having a great father is supposed to be like. Let him work. You don't have to carry that stuff. And when you become sober, you understand that things can't sit on your shoulder like they used to. And some people might think that you don't give a damn and you don't care and you're not interested. And it's definitely not that. It's not that you don't care. It's that you know the importance of things. And little things or big things or super big things, you learn how to deal with them without alcohol and move past them. And you're not able to sit in that and just be sad or be in that zone, because you'll end up drinking. You'll end up saying, if I had one drink, I wouldn't be feeling like this right now. If I had one drink, I'll forget all about this. But we know the reality of it, yeah, you're going to forget it then. Sometimes you get drunk, and then sometimes you get drunk and that sad shit come back up in a different way. In a totally different way. And come out the wrong way, too. So, I said that to say this. You sober now. And a lot of the things that used to bother you may still bother you. And you have to handle those things for real now, because you have to stay in the moment at all times, right? You got to be here. Your mind, your heart. So you feel everything is different now. Like you used to think you feel everything, but you really feel everything. But if you really work in the program, God really working there with you. And the things that you don't get, man, it's crazy how he download me with so much information. And the feeling of it's not my fight is really what it is. It's not my fight. It's not my fight. Just like I remove myself from bars and remove myself from around things that was triggering, I remove myself. Either I have the tools to be able to work in that situation, or I remove myself without any feeling of hesitation. Up, this don't feel right. Up, this don't look right. This don't make me feel good inside. This put me in a negative space. And cussing and fussing don't help me no more. It made me feel worse. It was a time when cussing and fussing, I used to get done cussing and fussing, I'd be like, whew, man, I feel better. But now when I cuss and fuss, at the end, I feel worse. Because I know I could have handled that situation better. I feel worse. Because I know that I'm saying to God, I don't trust in you to handle this situation. I don't trust in you to have my back. I don't trust in you to lay my burdens down. That's what we saying. When we get out there and get so emotional and cuss and fuss, things hurt. Things hurt to the core. I'm going through the toughest time in my life right now. The toughest time in my life right now. And you will see me and think that everything's okay. But when I have the joy of knowing things will be okay, And even in this I shall learn. And even in this I shall grow. Sobriety brings out the glass halfway full mentality, you know. And in that mentality, you're going to feel like people are doing you over. In that mentality, you're going to feel like you're kind of getting a little bit, going back up the hill. In that mentality, you're going to feel like you get a lot of pushback. And some people take, what you've been able to accomplish, and they use it for bad. But those are just bad people. Whether you're sober or not, they're going to be that way. So don't hang your sobriety on the way that they treat you and the things they say about you. You got to hang your sobriety on how you feel about you and what you say about you. Yeah, what you say about you. What you feel about you. I act out of a good heart all day, every day. And it's nothing I even have to try to do. I don't have to try to be honest with you. I don't have to try not to be shady to you. I don't have to try. My team member has watched me and helped me. So I'm not doing it by myself. That hill is something else. You got my legs though. You don't have to do it on your own. You got a great partner. You don't have to do it on your own. This weapon that's formed against you, alcohol, you got a partner. You got somebody. You don't have to do it by yourself. You don't have to fight this battle on your own. You don't have to fight criticism or non-belief or non-believers or doubters. That's not your fight. You're not here to prove to anybody anything. Live happy. No need to fuss and cuss. Figure out the problem. Identify the problem. Then use your tools. I'm not perfect at it. But boy, I came a long way. A very long way. I feel good to walk away from arguments. I feel good to say negative stuff in my head and not out my mouth. And God still whooped me for that. When I go to start saying negative stuff in my head, God whooped me. Right then and there, He whooped me. That ain't cool. Yeah, you saying it in your head, but why you thinking it? Our thoughts are manifest. I know I'm staying sober. I know I'm dying sober. So ain't no argument about this. Ain't no argument too big for God. And that's who doing the arguing for me. Sober after 5.